Wassail. Do you know, I've started this reading so many times and things keep going wrong, and I'm determined to get this full moon reading out to you. There's been very strange noises outside. The most beautiful sunset at the moment over the sea. And anyway, look, let's get into this reading. Focus. So, this is full moon in Aquarius, which is my moon of birth. So, it's about the collective, and it's a full moon, so it's about endings of the non-collective and beginning of the collective as we head towards all of the three karmic planets, Jupiter, Pluto and Saturn, moving by December towards and into Aquarius to make this big shift. So there's a lot of stuff going down, and it happens on Monday the 3rd at 2 minutes to 4 Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Time. You have to work out where your difference is. So I just want to say before I begin, thank you so much everybody who's messaging me on this adventure, our adventure. I am writing to everybody. I'm struggling to keep up with the emails, and I'm working my way through the list of personal readings now that I've got somewhere that I can sit and do them in peace. I also want to say this is a moon about the collective, and we are a collective, and it'd be really, really lovely. I have asked this before, but try and talk to each other as well as with me so that we become a collective, sharing things much more rather than everything just being from you to me and then back again. Let's try and build relationships between each other, because in truth it's that joining together that makes the biggest difference in energies as we shift towards this solar eclipse on the 14th of December, the solar eclipse of the inner child. So let's begin with the very beautiful and very happy bowl bell. So this, since it rang in Dyer, has been the happiest bowl in the land. I was going to hit that again, and then it went, no, don't, it's on the 3rd, just do 3. It had a very brittle opening. There's that sense that the energies that we're leaving behind are quite brittle. Look, I know a lot of you have had really traumatic times throughout this month, especially with the run up to the repeating moon, but the energies are getting better now. So fret not, folks. It's all going to be good. It's always all going to be good if you keep that focus. So, I've got my new setup and I've got my little light on for the first time. I've put it on the cool setting to try and minimise the red suntan that I've got sitting on the beautiful beach in between readings. So, I'm staring at these cards because this Moonology deck have been misbehaving recently. They've been just being a little bit saucy and cheeky and off message. And I thought that because this is a full moon, that they really ought to. It's very odd. You're very close to achieving your goal. It's a gibbous moon, and that's exactly the moon that I was born under. A gibbous moon in Aquarius. So, which is a moon for manifesting, actually. Gibbous moons are all about bringing energy. So I'm getting this sense of, because of the position of this, looking up through the trees, that sense of the need to make wishes on this moon. Your moon intentions need to be about moving forwards. And then prosperity lies ahead, which is new moon in Taurus. This is a very earthing moon. This is about connecting. So the energies are, of the two cards together, are lying under trees, watching the moon as it grows, And I'm going to say, don't forget that the energy of a full moon begins 2 or 3 days before, the power of it, and lasts 2 or 3 days after, and then it's a 2-week period as it heads towards the next new moon, which will be in Leo, but will be a very late moon. So this full moon in Aquarius is the one that actually covers the Lioness Gateway portal. So the energy is to lie underneath trees, connect to the roots of the trees, take your divine feminine consciousness down into the earth grid and make a wish for prosperity. Now, that doesn't really mean money, although I'm sure in a minute when I shuffle the cards, loads of coins will fall out. It's to do with thinking of what for you would be prosperous. What would be your definition of prosperity? Would it be loving relationships? Would it be a happy family? Would it be a new home? Would it be a world in which people stop arguing? In fact, this evening, as I came back from the beach feeling all kind of lovely, there were 2 guys having a bit of a fisticuffs, and sadly my French wasn't good enough to say, "Oi, stop it, you." I must learn better French. So I'm going to use the double Anastarsia cosmic deck because we're in a galactic new year, and this is my cosmic deck, and I've got this thing of the thunder beings returning in this blue lunar storm year, which is also my year of birth. So this is all very magical. It's all about me. I don't know what you're watching for. This is a personal reading. Oh, look, there's a sneaky card facing up. Oof. Intimacy. I'm not taking it out. That was a secret message. Oh, dearie, 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 dearie me. Right, can we please, card, spirit, come on. Let's have a message for the collective. They were going a bit weird. Oh! What's going on, cards? Okay, so right. I guess it starts with this. This card of retreat. I've got that light slightly wrong because it keeps turning up in the middle like a moon. But that's quite nice. Look, there's that full moon moving all the way through all of the cards. So, retreat. Where? Into the hidden realms. So, creating a conscious awareness. So, in the hidden realms is the energy of confusion. So, before we went into the lockdown, the energy of the earth frequency was confusion. Everything was Age of Pisces, male raw energy, and it was shaking, and it was fast, and it was rapid, and it was making everything go really, really fast. And all of a sudden it went, and everything stopped, and this energy flew up into the air, and it started to shake over the top. And everyone was told to stand still down here. And up here, there was all this confusion, and everything was being put out, and it was telling you to do this and do that, and everything, no one knew what was going on. Take a breath and let everything out. So down here in the earth grid, which is now divine masculine energy, we can pull our consciousness down through all that confusion, push that confusion away, and come down. But in that confusion, stored inside our DNA and in our bodies, is all of this 26,000 years of nonsense. So just a little thing to let go of with this moon. So the retreat is your sacred inner space. Okay, so this is you and the earth. I know we're talking about the collective, but now we're talking about disengaging and doing a retreat on your own first of all. So go to your sacred inner space. And in your inner space, it's just you and the earth. There's nobody else exists, nobody. And I've said this before, if it was only you in the earth, what would you do? How would you behave? How would you live? How would you eat? Would you eat? Would you wear clothes? Would you run free? Would you dance? Would you sing? I want you all to think about this wonderful Eden that is just yours. It's your sacred inner space with Source. And it's so beautiful, so beautiful. But I want you to go into that inner space. And in your dreams, you're going to ask to witness some of this so that you can begin to slow this down and see with clarity some of the things that your ancestors, you in previous lives, all of these sort of, there's something very tortured about this whole image, and yet it's so perfectly drawn as if to say it's exactly what was meant to be, and it's now being pulled together inside your DNA to be removed. And that's exactly what the next card is. Soul fragments. This is Source, Spirit, and you co-creating together to reach inside your heart and your soul and to pull out all of these confused emotions and just let them go. Just really just free yourself from them, because they don't exist as any useful purpose. They have no useful purpose as we move into this future that's now coming, that's growing. So you're going on a spiritual exploration. This card always looks to me like the head of the phoenix, just coming in to kiss a new, there's a soul just down here, look. And there's the river of purification, there's mountains that look rather daunting, and yet this phoenix is illuminating everything to say that we're on the right pathway, we're moving forwards. So, channel your knowledge. The energy I'm getting from this card today, it says critical judgment, but it's not about critical judgment, it's actually about dream world. There's an energy coming down centrally, and then there's like a sense of a huge amount of spiritual ancestors all standing around you, all focusing this energy into a stillness, bringing this into a stillness so that you can focus. And look, just behind here is the edge of your spirit guides working with you. They're coming in to help cleanse, to purify, to bring change to everything. And it begins now properly with this moon. And what are they bringing from Source is abundance. This energy of just, I mean, it's so beautiful, the energy of this card. And it's hitting the dark mountain that we saw here, and it's illuminating it so that you can see your pathway forwards. Because look, we've all got different pathways. No one's pathway through this is the same. But in order to join with the collective, we all have to individually release these things. So it's very difficult. You have to kind of look at a fear that you have. Because fears, you need to face something to do some of the shadow work. But the cards are kind of saying, start the shadow work and your spirit team will help you to actually release the rest of what is stored within you. And it is stored in the parts of your DNA that are not being used. In that area they call junk DNA. And that's where things that have been poked in your life that belong to your ancestors are being stored, And they're almost like a lending library. And when someone wants to, they can kind of reach in, poke a little part of you. It triggers a trauma within you and you think it's real, but actually it's from the lending library. It doesn't belong to you. So you just need to put all the books back, and actually we're going to get rid of that library and we're going to build a new library where you're writing a better future. So I've got the 2 Chrysan decks, and I wanted to put them together again because I put them together a long time ago when I first got them, and they've not been together again since. And I love the messages that Santaro gets from these. And so I really wanted to give them a little moment out, all merged together in a collective for this collective moon. So there's one over there. I want to get a series of them out and then see what the messages are. They've gone all quiet. Can we please have some messages, please, about this full moon in Aquarius? So, I'm putting them in the order that they're coming. I'm not looking at them yet because that will make me start thinking about them too early. Can we please have some messages? Can we please have some messages for everybody? Full moon in Aquarius. One of them's just jumped over, but it might have double twisted. If it turns up again, I'll pull it up. Ooh, that was very violent. Oh, I think that might be enough because they're getting a little bit cheeky and rude now. That's a lot of cards now at the end. So let's see what we have. I think I'm going to have to put these ones at the end as a separate moment. I'll come to them in a bit. So, let me just have a wee look while you all make yourself a cup of tea. Make me one, no sugar, a little bit of oat milk. Right, so we're beginning with the 4 of Pentacles and the Page of Inspiration. So I love this card. She's wearing the earring of Odal, which the first time it came up I didn't know was called Odal, but obviously I've been learning my runes and doing my Norse history lessons. I wish I was as quick at French as I was at learning that. She is holding on to all the things in her life that are most precious. Now ordinarily this card would be... this card in this deck usually represents the image of being in flow with the universe. But today I'm really getting that sense from her that she just doesn't want to let go of the bag of precious things. My precious. So I guess it's the energy of like a spring clean of the emotions. So you need to look inside your bag and ask yourself, what of the emotions that you carry do you most need? Because it's time to have a new inspiration around this thing, around the subject of emotions, because I want to say that she's holding on to the junk DNA, she's holding on to the traumas, and yet she's so beautifully stoic and almost kind of ignoring it. It's almost like saying, you're not doing the shadow work to get your spiritual inheritance. It's just a little symbol hanging on your ear, and it's so close to your ear, and yet you're not listening to it. So you need to listen, because this is all this is almost like spirit going and igniting igniting your ear hole so that you really hear the message. So the fact that there's two cats is making me think that of the Lioness Gateway portal that's coming as well on the 8th of the 8th. I just need to pour a little bit of water because feeling suddenly a little bit parched. I want to say, Hannah Spanner, don't forget to drink water. Sorry, Hannah, I love you so much. So, the next two cards, again, it's a repeating message. And actually, rather oddly, the Eight of Wands in this card, the explosive part, is upside down. So the Five of Materials, the Five of Materials is a card of inevitability. It's got the gate of Ishtar on it, which is about the heart and purifying the emotions. So my Gates of Ishtar reading's on the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020. And when you enter the Gates of Ishtar, which was a Babylonian gateway, and they found parts of it in the 30s, in the 1930s, in Babylon, and a German architect picked it all up, hoiked it over to Berlin, but then they reconstructed the entire gateway, and it's all these very deep, rich, blue ceramic tiles. I mean, it's a magnificent gateway. But so you go through the gateway, and then you go into a courtyard, which is where the Hanging Gardens of Babylon were. So I've been talking a lot about different gateways, and the gateways tend to come, the gateways always come on double dates. So like the 2nd of the 2nd was the Gates of Ishtar, and then the 3rd of the 3rd was another gateway, Urash. The 4th of the 4th was Zababa. So there's a series of gateways. There will be a gateway which is to do with the Lioness Gateway portal on the 8th of the 8th. Oh, and we've got 2 8s. So this 8th of the 8th thing keeps coming up. So this moon energy is really about that kind of frequency. But so you go through the first gateway, and then you reach what was the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, very famous. And the gatekeeper to let you go through the next gateway is a hummingbird. And I've been waiting to see a hummingbird since the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020. You see, and I'm burping truths. So I await the hummingbird. Now, I've turned up in Le Havre, and as I said in a post, the very first thing that happened was I saw in the station my birthday written on a huge monument. And just up the road from where I'm staying, there are some hanging gardens. So I'm going to take us all there and see what message we get. I was thinking of doing that for the Lioness Gateway portal, but who knows? Spirit will move me to go there when Spirit decides to do it. So this card, the Five of Materials with the Gate of Ishtar, is about an energy that you will have in a dream. So this is Spirit, I'm getting cards stuck to my arm, pushing you forwards and pulling the energy through. There's something incredibly musical, like it could be that you need to listen out for synchronistic songs. Look them up. The seagull agrees with me that it's to do with song. You're going to get a download of a song in a dream, and you're going to have to look up the lyrics because there's something within the lyrics, and that's going to ignite your movement. It's the hearing. It's this energy of music. That's really interesting, of course, because actually, do you know, Santara always talks about this as being the iPhone advert, and she absolutely loves this card. And actually, this card scares me. Sometimes I stare at this card and I just go, yeah, what are you doing? It's about inspiration, and I've always seen this card actually as how it's nothing to do with the physical body, because her body's completely blacked out, and it's all to do with thought, and yet it's passions, and it's got the iridescent cloud. I don't know whether any of you have actually ever been lucky enough to see an iridescent cloud, but they are incredible. One appeared over my studio over the sea when I was doing a sound healing with someone. So this dream will happen so quickly. It really will be like a firecracker going off, a firework going. Actually, I'm getting that energy again of other things, more fireworks in the next section. So I'm just going to move these across because they keep sticking to my arms. So the next two cards that we have are the King of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. This song with the lyrics has got some key to your emotions, to making you understand. Again, this is an explosion, but because it's the Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles for me is always Yggdrasil. It's the Tree of Life energy. It's the key code to succeeding on something. And it's obviously, it's coming with this explosive 8 of the 8th. Lioness Gateway Portal. I thought, cards, we were doing a reading about the moon, not the Lioness Gateway Portal. But obviously this moon is bringing around the first part of the energy. You need to let go. You need to end holding on to all this stuck energy. And I know you're all going to say you're not sure how to do it, but the cards are saying you have to ask your spirit team to give it to you in a dream. Spirit is there to help you. They really are. Look, we've talked about that in these earlier cards. Finding your sacred space and going into your soul to make changes. So, what are the changes? To be zen, to regrow, to change, to float, to feel bliss. Look, he's got his finger in the bowl, and he's just gently, nonchalantly resonating the bowl. The thing about the King of Cups, the Zen of Cups, it's an energy of both masculine and feminine. But I always like to say, it's like going down to the sea, like King Canute, who said he couldn't hold back the tides. He didn't say he could, he said I can't. I'm not divine, I can't hold back the tides. So, I don't know why I'm telling you that. It'll be relevant to somebody. But so, the King of Cups, I always say, to understand how it works, you go down to the sea, you allow the tide to come in, and you get completely wet. Now, water is the Akashic Records, it's emotions. And everybody burdens you with emotions. People tell you their emotional stuff. And you hear their emotional stuff, and you give them solutions, answers, possibilities, and then you let them take their emotions back, and you know that the tide of emotions will go out, and you will be left in the sun to dry off with only your emotions to worry about. And it has starfish here. Starfish is about regeneration. Regenerating your emotions is the key to moving forwards. So then we have a really powerful combination. We have the wheel and the world, 1021. So, destiny is ending a massive karmic cycle. I mean, for a moon of endings, you really couldn't have something more powerful than these two cards together. So all the cogs are in place. all the wheels are turning to take all of this dark DNA that no longer belongs to us and pull it right through the body and send it back out. So that's referring back to that wonderful card, soul fragments. These fragments in the soul that need to be lifted out and transmuted and changed from the darkness and confusion to the prosperity that's coming. And this world card, I'm really drawn suddenly to their dresses and the change of hair colour. It's so transformative, this energy, that you will look different. I keep getting this message of us beginning to age backwards or regenerate, and that's why that starfish is being pulled out. So there is this real sense of moving into a new frequency of change, but she's standing in this circle, which is one of the Uberos snake. Just here is where the snake is eating its own tail, because it's completed a cycle, and then you can step through. And there's so much mirror imagery, but it's like in this card, all of these flower of life has got all the different symbols of earth, air, fire and water coming together. And then I'm getting more cards stuck to my elbows. And then in this card, that same flower of life energy is completed, but all of the elements of earth, fire, water and air have now been put together to create new geometric forms and shapes. And that's been an energy frequency that I've been getting over and over and over again throughout the lockdown period. In the park, a lot of the messages were about the fractal frequencies changing on a core atomic level, so that actually the things that we thought were true, it goes into the DNA of everything. Our DNA will be upgraded, and that's what these new cosmic shapes are. There was a whole period of readings where there were triangles being turned into squares and hexagons are very key. They're a very strong structure. They're not as strong as the triangle, but they're somehow stronger, and they're a structure that's used by bees and other things to create these energies. But there's real fractal frequency changes. And then we have the Hierophantrix and the Knight of Materials. Now, again, I'm drawn to this geometric patterning, the diamonds, the mandalas, the energies of growth, the sitting at one with the earth, your divine feminist consciousness being part of the landscape, and how this gives you this freedom in this Knight of Materials, because this is divine epiphany. This is usually the card of the Hierophant is when the Emperor, the emotional masculine, becomes divine masculinity. But in this card, for me, it just represents the divine feminine earthing into the divine masculine earth grid. And then, because this is materials, pentacles, this is a card of the real world. And this fabulous succulent is talking about how the world itself will flower and bloom around us to just create new life for everybody. So the last two cards in this section are a 5 and a 6. So we've got this Hierophantrix energy, the 5 and the Knight of Materials, and then we've got another 5, the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Wands, or 6 of Inspiration. So there's work to do collectively. We've got to rebuild everything if we're ever going to stand in victory and take our spot in the light. It's really interesting. She's being kissed by the energy of the star. There's stars all around her. And It's almost like you step through the gate of Ishtar with your hummingbird energy, and then the whole world illuminates in a new format. But the interesting thing is she has this star just touching her hand, and we have the energy of the star coming out, and she's holding the star here in her hand, and I'm really being drawn to pull up these two cards and to hold them in this form, and to say that this hand down here is the star's energy pushing the energy through and pulling the star-like healing energy through. That was a very noisy bicycle of male masculinity. So she's holding the star in her hand. She's pulled that starlight through you towards her hand, and she's made that connection through the gates of Ishtar, through your consciousness, down into the earth, and then holding it here so that this is a download, and here, coming from the other direction, is the upload, the DNA changes, the upgrades that are coming from the Earth grid. But the fact that she's holding the star in her hand is saying that it's not rapid. This isn't like, I know at the beginning we had all this explosive firelighter energy. That's the boom of inspiration that will take place. But actually, this, again, look, she's got this celestial mandala around her head. So the star energy is saying that the connection will be made, the inspiration will be made, but this upgrading of the body, the healing, isn't rapid. The cosmos doesn't work in speed. It works quite slowly. I mean, if you think how long it took to make the cliffs that we see around us from all the decomposed bodies of small marine animals over millions of years, and yet man can go in there with explosions and knock things down so quickly. And it's now time to slow everything down. We've had all that fast frequency up there, and it's holding up there. It used to be down here, but now it's up there, and underneath is this glacial, beautiful, calm, wonderful energy of cosmic healing taking place. So the last three cards, it's about, I kind of want to say it's about slowing down. The interesting thing I always love about this card is down here she's protecting her emotions. She's thinking, she's separating thought from emotion. She's trying to go through that bag. Open that bag and have a good rifle through your bag. Rustle through it and see what's going on in there. Because you've got to empty the bag out and decide what you want. Look, actually, I can talk about that in a very big way. I had to dismantle my studio, dismantle my entire life, let go of everything I kind of owned, and just bring it down to one bag, one very big heavy suitcase. But I had to think about decks of cards that I needed to bring with me. I couldn't bring them all, and so many cards I've had to leave with friends, hoping that they'll learn to read them, obviously. But then I had to edit out clothing. I had to only bring 2 pairs of trousers, some t-shirts, some shorts. I had to keep editing down, and I packed my bag, and then I walked away from it. I couldn't close it. And then I came back and I unpacked it, and I had to take more things out. And then I went away, and I came back and I did it again. And that's kind of what you have to do at the moment with your emotions and with your life and with traumas and with thoughts. You've got to become this Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is usually a very harsh Queen of Swords. But actually, in this card, she's so serene. She's sitting high up in the sky because she's an air sign. she's put her sword away. She doesn't need to slice heads off at the moment. She's not in that energy frequency. She's not the feminine queen of politics that's behaving in a man's world. This is a woman, this is a queen who knows exactly who she is because she's connected to the earth. She's in her hierophantrix energy frequency. So where's this leading? It's leading to us choosing which emotions suit us. Look, that star energy is firing down, and it's illuminating all of those things, and we're looking around and we're, I don't know what to choose. But all of the things here are beautiful choices, but you can't take them all. So you need to choose which serve your future pathway, and then this energy of the star will grow within your heart because you've got the key to the emotions, as we said earlier, to be zen with the emotions. You're passing through this karmic gateway, you're running free, and as this happens, this energy of your heart, instead of it being held onto, it will flow open, and we have the wish card. Look, bursting forth, tripping over all of the treasure, because this treasure chest is this bag. You don't need this bag. In fact, put the whole bag down and let new energy flood from within you to bring that sense of abundance. So I'm just gonna ask this cosmic deck, please. Cosmic deck, can you please give us an ending to this new moon reading? Can you please give us an ending to this new moon reading? Can you please give us an ending to this new moon reading? Apparently not. This deck goes very quiet every time I get it out. It's like it's very shy. It's like, please don't ask me. Come on, you can do it. What is the wishing at the end all about? Oh, that was a bit of a bounce. Move forwards. This card. This is Blue Lunar Storm Year card. It keeps coming out. So the other four, sorry, this is who are you? This is the shadow. This is this energy. And you're trying to get to this energy, to get to the brighter aspects of you. So that's card 23. I'm just going to show you the names of these cards. So we've got believe, which is card 4. Believe in you. Believe in your dream. Believe in your destiny. Bring all... Oh, you see, this is about standing still. Again, that stillness. That stillness that needs to come in order for time to heal all the energies around you and settle over you with your Gates of Ishtar energy. And it's about unconditional love for you. For you. Unconditional love for everybody else comes later. You've got to believe in an unconditional love for yourself. And that is a cosmic connection. That's how you join this. This is fascinating, this card, because there's an insect aspect to it. There's a human aspect to it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a 10 chakra energy. It's the card of 11. It's connection to the earth. It's like the energy I'm getting from this card is like everything coming down to you, pulling in energy, frequency around you, letting the earth grid and the cosmos absolutely heal you. And then, right at the very end, where's she gone? Little Lady O'Dall, not listening. He gets that firecracker, boom, explosion around her hair. She's turned up again. Communication, spirit. It's card number 9, which is divine consciousness, the divine energy. It's coming again, and this time it's come as a wolf, and it's shouting in your ear, "Wake up!" So, there's a lot to do with this moon. There's a huge amount of change in energy. The inspiration of the song at the very beginning, don't forget that. And don't forget that you're cleansing your heart, ripping out that soul so that you can replace everything and burst forth with energy. And now I'm going to take a really big risk because I'm cheeky like that, and I've got my inner child's now all fired up. I'm going to ask these naughty Moonology cards to finish the reading. Is that it? Oh, and another one kind of just slid off. The energy is gaining momentum. The energy is gaining momentum. This is the energy of change that's coming upon us. Oh, and it's a time for healing, a balsamic moon. So this full moon in Aquarius is the start of a healing process that's going to take you all the way through to the 14th of December. So we've got a long journey ahead of us, and we've got a lot to get through. Hey! So try and have a laugh if you can. Try not to let all of this shadow work hang heavy on you. Try and feel the energy of the earth grid, because honestly, Gaia's Mother Earth energy is just willing you to pull your consciousness right down into the earth grid, through the trees, through the Yggdrasil tree, and to feel the growth that is the new love. Because look, the one message more than any that the natural world wants to say to you, look, the natural world's not angry with you. Everything that was, all the things you need to work through, all the shadow work, all the DNA trauma was meant to be. And actually, all the abuses that we've done to the earth were also just meant to be to help us reach the light. So it was interesting during that lockdown that very instantly, as quick as this, I can't pick the card up now. Come on. As quick as this, the earth healed itself really, really quickly, and then we all tried to get back to normal. It's going to do that again because the earth loves us. We're made, our molecules are made of the earth, and the earth loves us. It's not waiting to chastise us and tell us off. It just wants us to wake up, and we're heading now, as I said, towards that December. All the planets moving, the karmic planets, towards that wonderful moment in Aquarius when all of the energies will fire the collective right up. But this isn't just the dawning of the age of Aquarius, this is the age of Aquarius. So go with the program, people. Things are changing and the collective is king. Okay, wassail.